NC pork. Good for the plate. Great for the steak.
Our next guest played 4 years for the Tar Heels under the legendary Dean Smith, also 11 seasons in the NBA, part of an NCAA championship as an assistant coach under that Roy Williams guy in 2017. He was an All-ACC player back in the day, 1992. We now get to introduce him as the fifth-year head coach of the Tar Heels. Hubert Davis, welcome back to the North Carolina Sports Network. Coach, how are you?
Good. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. I'm never getting tired of seeing you after all these years, man. You said you needed to get bigger last year. You're clearly bigger. Even I can tell that with all those guys. In what ways does it help you as a basketball coach beyond the obvious, just grabbing rebounds and blocking shots?
Well, I mean, it's not just, we got more size this year, and it's not just in the front court. I feel like we have positional size where our guards are really big as well. It allows us, the versatility to be doing a number of things, not just offensively, but on the defensive end as well. I always believe rebounding is the number one determining factor of outcome of a game. So not just boxing out and defensive rebounding, but also attacking offensive glass, and that's something that's always been a staple of UNC basketball and something that we really wanted to improve on coming off of last year.
You know, Coach Smith would be proud that you brought a senior coach to this media event. Even in modern college basketball, you can still have a 4-year senior. Seth Trimble said to us that talent always matters, but that in his first 3 years in Chapel Hill, he thought chemistry was an even bigger factor than talent. How would you make that similar assessment when it comes to everything from a Final Four trip in your first year to a really disappointing year after that and everything in between?
Well, I think it's both. I would love talent in chemistry, and obviously, as you said, after going to the Final Four my first year and then missing the tournament the second year, but the third year winning the league outright and being the number one seed, and then last year making the NCAA Tournament and struggling at the beginning of the year, but finding our way towards the end of the season, which I was really proud of. And so it's just a blessing and an honor to serve in this capacity at this university and be able to give back to these kids everything that Coach Smith and Coach Guthridge gave to myself.
Last year, we got to interview one of your freshmen, not at this event, but elsewhere, Drake Powell, and you helped him live his dream, right? He got to the NBA. This year, you have a freshman named Caleb Wilson. Yeah. I want to ask you, last year, 13 of the 15 guys on the All-ACC team were not freshmen. It was only 2 Duke guys who, as freshmen, were regarded as the best players in this league. Yeah. Is Caleb Wilson right away good enough, even as college basketball is so much older than it used to be one of the best players in this league and maybe even your best player?
Well, it's been so much fun coaching Caleb. Obviously, he's extremely talented. He's somebody with that talent that has a burning desire for the team and the program to be successful. He's unpacked his bags. Both feet are in. He's such a great teammate. He's got a charismatic personality that just lights up the locker room, lights up the court every time he steps in a room. And, it's been so much fun coaching him, and I'm really excited about the season he's going to have in his freshman year.
The talent part of the equation you're supposed to solve with your staff on the recruiting trail. The chemistry part seems to be more complicated. What do you know more right now as a fifth-year head coach than you knew the day you took the head coaching job at UNC?
Well, I've always believed that the best position to be in is being in a position of listening and learning. You should never, as a player, as an assistant coach, and now as a head coach, I've never felt like I've gotten to a point where I know everything. And every year you're just learning more and more about the building of team, motivation, team chemistry, on the court, what works, what doesn't work. And that's the fun part of trying to put together different kids, different personalities from all over the world, and to put them together and try to get them to buy in and play together as a team is so much fun to do.
Roy Williams used to tell us that growing up in the mountains of North Carolina, he had a healthy dislike for that school down the road, North Carolina State University, which back then was a huge rivalry. One of your guys, Van Allen Lubin, is now wearing the enemy's colors at NC State and representing the Wolfpack here in Charlotte. You're a relationship guy. How do you process something like that? And is Coach Williams going to be okay seeing a former Tar Heel dressing up in the Wolfpack uniform?
Well, I'm never in a position to answer for anybody else. I love competing in this conference. I've been a part of this conference as a player, as an assistant coach, and now as a head coach. And it's such an honor and a privilege to be able to compete against all the teams in the ACC. And I want every kid to be successful. I mean, that's naive on my part, but whether they come to Carolina or they go someplace else, I want them to have the same experience that I had when I was in school. And that experience far exceeded my hopes and dreams and goals. And so that's what I desire as a coach for our players and for everyone else's players, and I'm looking forward towards the season.
You've experienced a lot of change in 4 years as the Tar Heels head coach. You now have a general manager. How does that work? In the pros, the GM makes a draft pick and the coach is told which guys to coach. In college, I imagine your GM needs to hear from you and your staff, which guys you want on the recruiting trail, and it seems to be a different type of relationship.
Well, I'm so thankful that Jim decided to leave his agency that he was a part of for 27 years. He's a UNC alum. He has a passion and desire for this program to be good, and it's been great. We have a great relationship, and it's been really good being able to acclimate him into our coaching staff, into our program, and I'm so thankful that he's a part of it.
How does the back and forth work in terms of just identifying players to pursue for the Tar Heels?
Well, I mean, as I said before, Jim and I have a tremendous relationship. The great thing for me is I was 5 years ago named head men's basketball coach at the University of North Carolina, and that's my job. And so I always believe in keeping my eyes straight ahead on what is real, and what is real is for me to help this team become the best team that it can possibly become.
Last thing for you. You mentioned Isaiah Dennis and Derek Dixon, two more of your freshmen. You kind of said, I wasn't there, but, I wouldn't be surprised to see their jerseys in the rafters someday. Every word you say is scrutinized. Was that said in jest or as a motivation, or how do you view those guys here in the early part of their time in Chapel Hill?
That wasn't said in jest or motivation. I think they're great kids. I think they have an opportunity to be great players, and I'm excited that they're here at Carolina, and I've enjoyed coaching them.
His name is Hubert Davis. Thanks for the time on the North Carolina Sports Network.
All right, thank you very much.